Hi, I'm Tim Moody, President and CEO of Pan Global Resources. We have an exciting copper project in southern Spain, and I think, as we've shown through 2023, a growing pipeline of new discovery opportunities.
Absolutely, Tim. Good to see you. Happy New Year to you. You finished off the year pretty well last year. You raised that $5 million, which puts you in quite a good position this year. I guess the question people are going to be asking is what are you going to do with it?
No, I think we did have a good year, despite it being a tough market for most of the juniors, as you're well aware. We actually raised a bit over $6 million, so slightly better than that. So, look, I'm glad we've got that money before we can get on with business in 2024, which is what everyone wants to happen. So, I just put out some news, a recap yesterday on, achievements last year, but also a snapshot of the objectives for 2024. So, comes to your question. So, look, we're going to hit the ground running with drilling at Cañada Honda and continue to try and delineate the western extension of La Romana. So, I can see 20 to 30 drill holes, probably 3,000 or 4,000 metres, something of that order over the next few months. We'll also try and progress the metallurgy. We've been doing that now. We've expanded the deposit, so we need to expand the metallurgy. We've still got the tin metallurgy results to report. We were hoping to have those out actually before the end of the year, but those we've ended up doing a little bit more work on that because the results from the gravity were quite positive. So it's for a good reason. And the other thing is, look, let's see how the year progresses, but to come out with our sort of maiden resource for La Romana would be an objective.
Right, and in terms of, like I said, it's been really difficult, last year, but I think, copper price seems to be sort of stabilizing at the moment around sort of that 380, 390 mark, and hopefully we'll burst through the $4 mark. This year, it's quite clear it's been a tough environment out there. It's in terms of not just a risk off for investors, but also for the mining companies themselves. So doing business in Spain, have you been finding that sort of tough? Because again, a lot of stories that come in and talk to us, they're talking about the inability to sort of advance their projects forward. So what's it been like for you?
Yeah, well, perhaps if I just sort of step back to where we were when I started off with Pan Global in Spain, and the meetings I was having, particularly in North America and so on, people didn't even realise Spain was a mining country. So there's been a little bit of a growing realisation. Well, actually, Spain is a mining country. They've been mining for 4,000 years or something like that. So in terms of our ability to operate, it's been very good. We were able to drill. We get permitting for drilling quite quickly. We get reasonably good turnaround for results. There's a good talent pool in the area. There's mines, great infrastructure, all of those sorts of things that you would want. So look, Spain, I think more than ever, particularly with what's happened in Panama, and I guess the growing realisation that many of these new projects are in challenging locations. Having something in Spain in a mining, friendly mining, favourable jurisdiction for permitting, etc., is a huge advantage. So I think that's something we'll continue to emphasise through the year.
Right, and remind me about the end goal here, right? Because people need to know what they're investing into. And when we first started talking, I was, I like you, as you just outlined, I said, Spain was not sort of to me a kind of go-to mining jurisdiction, as you described. It is. But what are the challenges that you've set yourself in terms of whether it be land consolidation around the permitting and around the ability to actually go and drill where you want to drill? So how have you kind of mapped out this year?
Yeah, just recapping on last year, we managed to drill. In fact, I've got the statistics today. Just under 15,300 meters, 62 drill holes. So we got a lot done last year. But in terms of, and we advanced our main discovery and made a new discovery at Cañada Honda. So So I think it was a pretty good year, all said and done. So in terms of this year and laying out what's our objectives, well, first of all, we are an exploration company. So we drill, we find things, and look, we've got a pretty good track record, I think, at this stage, given we've made 2 discoveries in just the one area. So I think looking forward, it's obviously a big transition if we become a mining company, but we have the skills, the expertise to take it all the way if we have to, and we'll continue to advance the La Romana discovery to resource, and let's see where things take us. But there's a hungry world out there looking for lots of copper, so we'll see what happens. And in the meantime, we'll try and continue to make new discoveries, and importantly, to grow the exploration pipeline, the pipeline of opportunities to make new discoveries. That's the main object, should be the main objective for most exploration companies. So that's where I see things going.
Because you've got to get that balance. Like, I know you've got the money, so you've got optionality about how you spend it, and that's kind of rarefied air in this market at the moment. A lot of juniors have been either holding off or not able to raise the capital they want. So you're in a good place from that regard. But getting that balance between, like, focusing on, say, the flagship, like, La Romana, and because it's kind of giving up good results. You put out over 1% over decent intervals, 15, 16 meters back in November. Do you think people want to see more of that from one asset, or is it important for you to kind of get that balance between, I say, making new discoveries and developing those discoveries, and kind of painting a much bigger picture, which can, ask the question of grade is good, but scale is also really, really important here. So again, that balance of allocation of capital, how do you see that?
Great question. It is a balance. To some extent, our success at La Romana has set the benchmark quite high for us. There's an expectation that every time we drill a new target, we're going to make a new discovery. At the same time, I've also heard, well, people have already bagged in that we've got a discovery there at La Romana, and even though we keep drilling, we grew at 25% at least last year. It's always become boring, if I say it that way, that we keep hitting. It's still growing, but actually, that's what we've got to do. So I think an important milestone for us will be, to really delineating the full extent of that mineralization, so that we could come out with a resource. That would be a good catalyst event. It helps to realise value for shareholders. So hopefully that is an important price catalyst for us. So that's why we've got to do that work. But at the same time, we recognise that, one discovery on its own in this area is not the end of the story here. We make another discovery, could become part of the same mining complex. So could we double, 2 times La Romana or 3 times La Romana? Those are where you get the really big lifts to the share price and to the value of the company. So we've got to have that mix of the two. So that's why we're going to focus on, trying to delineate that western extension of La Romana, which we're still hitting, it's still growing, still have some results to report as well. It should be out quite soon. But also to try and advance Cañada Honda, as well as to move some of those other targets in our pipeline, so that we can drill those and hopefully make another discovery.
Okay, and like, I know we've talked in the past. It might be worth reminding people, perhaps new to this story, listening in today. Your track record. What I liked about this story when I first got there, you said it was quite clear you're not here for fun, and it's not a lifestyle company. We're going to build this thing in a way that is attractive to someone who's going to come in with a bigger balance sheet. Now, either to take you guys out or to come in as a joint venture partner. And you set out for me back in the early days what those things were. And I don't know, in the terms of working towards this, maiden 43101 over the next year or so, what are those things that you feel are important to be able to lay out in front of those potential partners or buyers that investors should be aware about? Yeah,
obviously we can't control whether or not we'll become a takeover target, although that's a real possibility. And the more we find, the more discoveries we make in this area, the more likely that that becomes an outcome. In the meantime, we'll just keep doing what we do well, which is explore and advance this project. So, where do we go from there? Well, perhaps you could perhaps let me know what else what I've missed here, but that seems to be
no. It was just about. I guess where I'm going with this is like it's not just about just drill for the sake of drilling, and
I see.
There's more to it. It's the kind of the setup of the picture that you need to paint to attract the right sorts of companies, because otherwise it just becomes another exploration play. You're saying this thing can become a mine.
Yes.
So, and you're confident of that. So I just want to, again, just remind people, say, what brings you that level of confidence that you're working towards building a picture which says this thing will become a mine?
Yes. Well, I think that's right. We are we're drilling here to try and find something, economic mineralization, something that could become a mine. We're not just trying to find nice geology. We're not just trying to find mineralized. Every rock's mineralized, which is a bear of mine. But we're trying to find something that could actually be mined. So I think we have that. We've got the grades. We've got near surface mineralization, great geometry, great location, all of those sorts of things. All if you put a checklist of things you would want for a new potential mining project, great jurisdiction for permitting, mining friendly location, good infrastructure, near surface mineralization, so technically not very challenging. These are all great attributes. And then you add to that the potential to make up other discoveries in the area. So the upside story here, it's those sorts of things that I try to bring forward. Grow a discovery, but show that upside potential here to make additional discoveries. And that's why the success we had at La Romana last year was very important. It's just further evidence of that upside. And we've got, I think importantly last year, we grew the pipeline of new opportunities, those new discovery possibilities. So that's the sort of picture I want to paint. But I think that another important element of that is the team. The team on the ground we have there. We have 2 mining engineers I've mentioned, which is a little unusual for an exploration company. And as well as an experienced team, very tight team, good, with who are doing a great job. So I think to show, if someone were to come in and take a run at us, or then we've got a great team on the ground already that they can feel confident that in the meantime we're just going to keep doing what we're doing well, as I said.
And the reason I asked that was because obviously you kind of graduated onto the OTCQX.
Yep.
There's a big North American market who are looking down at South America and going, my goodness, problem after problem after problem. It's mainly political. It's mainly sort of, literally kicking yourself or putting your foot in your mouth or tripping yourself up down there. It seems Panama's a good example of that, but there are others. You're about to go on a road show in North America. You're doing Canada and the US. That's going to be the first question people are going to be talking about is, can this thing, what is so special about this thing? Yeah. Why should I deploy my money here and not, say, down there? So that's where I wanted to go. So, tell us a little bit about the roadshow, why you're doing it. It's a non-deal roadshow, but why do you feel the need to sell the North American market? More about what you're doing.
Well, I think it's going. We've got a couple of objectives there. The people that we're meeting. One is some of the existing investors, and importantly, some of those that came in on the last financing, some of whom I hadn't seen face to face previously. But then also there's a good mix of potential new investors, those that are new to the story, perhaps haven't followed us or have followed us, but not yet investors. So I think it's an important part of our yearly sort of objective is to go out and meet those potential investors and existing shareholders. So in terms of messages, look, I think it's a pretty secure investment in some respects, given that we already have a discovery. We have something here that has a very good potential to be a mine. So that's a great foundation. Add to that the upside we've got. here. So, the potential to make additional discoveries, and we're demonstrating that, and we have this great pipeline of other opportunities. And then I guess the other thing is the jurisdictional thing, the location. We could put this thing potentially into production within, say, 3 or 4 years from putting out a resource. That is pretty special in today's environment. We were talking offline before about how mines have been getting deeper, they're getting more technically challenging, getting more expensive to mine as they go deeper as well, and in often difficult or perhaps more challenging environments for permitting and with geopolitical risk as well. So, look, we're not blighted with any of those sorts of things. We've got great location, great geometry, simple mining geometry, low cost, all of these things that you want to have. So I think those are the messages I really want to get out there.
Okay, and just for remind us, obviously you got the money to do the drilling. Are we going to start seeing a sort of constant flow of drill data coming back?
Yeah, I expect we'll have results out very soon on for the 9 holes that we completed on the western extension of La Romana. We've also we finished 3 holes by the end of last year at Cañada Honda. That's part of a sort of an 11-hole program. So we should have the first of those results from the follow-up program at Cañada Honda this month as well. And then we should have, I guess, the metallurgy results and then the ongoing drilling as we get going again at Romana West and Cañada Honda. So,
well, Tim, look, sounds exciting time for you guys, exciting time for copper. Stay in touch. Let us know how you get on. We're keen to catch up with you again soon.
Look forward to it, Matt, and Happy New Year to you and all your team and watchers.